these countries will never be able or will never choose to comply. And as such, that they're looking at a termination of even legitimate visas or the inability to go to the nearest American embassy in Barbados and get a visa because they'll all be redlined. So the people, would of course approach Government House en masse, fearing that their future involving visits to the United States will be directly threatened.
Well, I've heard that, and this, our own prime minister and others within the region say, if not CBI, then what? What is the Caribbean, the CBI countries going to turn to, because the CBI will no longer exist or could no longer exist?
Well, and also remember this, that the European Union is right in the middle of passing legislation to block the EC countries from having visa-free entry. And there's a lot of concern that a lot of consumers are now turning to Asia. And if you really watch the news, you know that now, magically, it seems, several African countries have now announced their own CBI processes, and they're trying to steal the business. Now, we have a world where in some jurisdictions in the Caribbean, up to 50% of the government's budget is covered by CBI receipts. What will that happen to what are essentially underperforming economies in the Eastern Caribbean? What happens if you lose that valued income that you've been using for a substantial period of time? All of this could result in a wholesale change in who's going to be in power in the Eastern Caribbean. For example, they just announced over in St. Lucia, December 1st election, a year ahead of time. There are clear and present fears that the monopoly that the Labor Party in these countries has enjoyed is about to come to a really short and horrific end, because people will start to see that the money from CBI is now in clear and present danger.
But I'll tell
Politics. It's all about politics.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, we've heard, and from the United States, actually almost imposing a big stick policy against these Caribbean countries, because there's, as I indicated to you, Mr. Ridjock, there's no alternative at this point in time. So don't you think that the U.S. is being over punitive there for these Caribbean countries?
Well, you've got to blame St. Kitts and St. Lucia, because they allowed their vendors to sell tens of thousands of CBI passports to people in China, many of whom ended up getting arrested in the United States and elsewhere for financial crime and a number of other transgressions and sins, so that the U.S. has lost its patience with CBI programs in general, which don't provide adequate due diligence. So it's not as if it's not justified. Of course, if you live in the Eastern Caribbean, you're going to take the position that it's overreach, that it's draconian, but it's coming directly from the White House in this case. It's not coming from the Department of State.
And those I know there are listeners who are now saying, Mr. Ridjock, you're crying wolf and nothing ever actually happens. But can you point to this piece of legislation that just passed there in the American, of course, laws there that indicates that it's coming? Because some people want to read for themselves.
Well, anybody that wants to look at the outline of the legislation can find it directly on my blog, which many people do read daily. But the actual full text of the legislation is voluminous, and I, of course, would be happy to send it to any Dominican that's interested. All they have to do is email me at miamicompliance@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to send it to them.
Repeat that again, so they can take their time and write it down, so you can do their own research. Go, go again.
Miami Compliance. That's MiamiCompliance, Miami Compliance at gmail.com. I'd be pleased to send it to any Dominican that wants to read it for him or herself. And I'll tell you, it's frightening to read.
It's very frightening to read. I find it amazing, though, in recent times that we've heard, the Caribbean countries coming together in terms of tightening legislation on CBI. Are you saying that these are not real?
Well, a lot of it's window dressing, because remember, even though the new reform measures and the creation of this new regulatory committee doesn't really have the teeth that it needs to enforce it. Remember, you have a huge number of CBI consultancies in the Middle East, principally in Dubai, in the UAE, which routinely violate all the rules, and it's almost unheard of for anybody to ever lose their license for violating the law. They feel that they are bulletproof since they are abroad, and frankly, you don't see anybody being called to account. Remember, in some of these jurisdictions, selling a CBI passport at less than the minimum amount happens to be a felony. But outside of a few people and a few companies in St. Kitts losing their license, the CIUs, the agencies, they just ignore it. So without teeth and enforcement, how can they possibly do anything? Of course, now things might be changing, because over in Dubai, the government there has just enacted a very strong anti-money laundering law, which will allow the government to bring criminal charges against people who operate these companies and who also are involved in what you and I would call willful blindness. Willful blindness is an American legal term where if somebody knew or should have known that what they're doing is wrong, they can be criminally prosecuted. So things are changing, but what people need to understand is that it's not like it used to be, where the U.S. might make some noise and that's it. Now we have a government in Washington which is frankly prejudiced against all foreigners who are, whether they are legitimately in the United States or not, and they are actively looking to expel them on any pretext. So it's going to be hard as hell without enacting this reform legislation for West Indians, Dominicans in particular, to keep that prized visa effective.
Let's talk about the timeliness. How soon, if any, as I said, should or could happen if these governments of the CBI countries don't change their legislation on the CBI? What's the timeliness of this if that don't happen?
Well, the problem, Matt, is that there's none of this information is out there in the public domain in media, and we have no idea if a deadline has been specified and what it is. It's all being done through diplomatic channels to spare government officials in the Eastern Caribbean the embarrassment of having to disclose that they're getting wrapped on the fingers and that they're going to be forced to upgrade their legislation.
But tell me, do you think that the Caribbean governments, especially those with the CBI programs, do they have a responsibility to tell their people what's actually going on? Because it seems there's been some silence in this.
Yes, I think that the prime ministers of all the Eastern Caribbean states that have CBI and CIP need to hold a town hall meeting and talk about this and get feedback from their constituents so they know that there is a groundswell of support to reform or perish.
There's some people who have argued that the United States has its own CBI program. So why try to criticize or cripple that of what is happening in the Caribbean? How do you defend this?
Well, the point is that all the American programs, which of course involve substantial amount of money and hiring local citizens to work in businesses that you create.
Mhm.
All these programs have a very high level of due diligence, what we call enhanced due diligence. And for decades, the fact that Russians, Iranians, Syrians, people involved in money laundering, people involved in organized crime, and spies have been able to get EC passports has never sat well with the United States Department of State. And therefore, while they have their own programs in the U.S., they don't let criminals in. And the argument, of course, is that just take a look at all of the people with CBI passports who've been arrested around the world for financial crime. It doesn't take very much to see that the U.S. has a point.
Well, it's a story to watch, and as I said, I expect these Caribbean leaders to make that announcement that they're under tremendous pressure from the from the U.S. to put some new regulation in place, new legislation in place to stop this from actually happening.
Well, let's hope that the smarter minds prevail and that these reforms are enacted. Otherwise, I fear that the consequences could be grave for the actual native-born Dominican who just merely wants to go visit the United States for pleasure or to do business. What if he's a person engaged in commerce and he needs to import 100% of his products from the United States and he can no longer go there to arrange commerce?
Again, before you go, I just want to, of course, for those who they always say that you always cry wolf. Give us the piece of information in terms of where you go find it for yourself from the blog that you've created there. Tell us where we can find it for the last time.
If you want to read the article about the story, just go on Google and type in my last name, Rijock, Rijock, and you'll be taken to a link to my financial crime blog, and then you can read all the stories. The blog's been there for the last 15 years. But all the stories about Dominica can be searched for and located. And you're welcome to, if you're interested in the complete text of the statute of the proposed legislation, email me at Miami Compliance, that's one word, no periods, at gmail.com, and I'll email it to you.
Mr. Rijock, thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Maybe next time I'll create a link so you can talk to the people yourself. Okay. Thank you very much. We do appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye bye. I'll start the question again. Our Caribbean leaders are keeping information from us. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes? Somebody says here on Facebook, that's why I tell you everything that so-called Labour Party government is doing, Dominicans, is just to cover up the corruption. Give Dominicans a little concrete apartment that is not there or not their own, give you all a patch to a sidewalk, give you a few dollars and continue to mislead and divide you all in this country. But they're going to get rich overnight and destroying Dominica. But when all politicians make them the bed in night for themselves, you all continue to sleep under the ground. Don't get rid. If you don't get rid of this government. I don't think the Prime Minister is here, but I'm hoping that the news conference can be called. I provided you with all the information. You can go check for yourself. Hello, talk to me. Yes, a little reading. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Good morning, Matt. How are you doing?
I'm trying my best.
Matt, you know what the Caribbean leaders are all about? It's just me, myself, and I, and giving the people I see that around me peanut crumbs from the table. You talk about America, Matt. America doesn't give you passports, like that. America is investing in that citizenship from America. Is that different from the Caribbean? America doing that a long time ago. And completely different from what in the Caribbean. The Caribbean, they give you passport. You don't even know the country and you get in passport. But in America, they give you green card and you'll go and open a business. You'll employ people. So, and after you meet the requirements for your citizenship to get a passport, you will get it. If you meet the requirements. But in the Caribbean, it's different. That's a total different thing. But ask anybody that know more than I do, and they will tell you. In the Caribbean, man, calling election. How old is Gonzalo? Gonzalo's 79 years old. But you can't just election to somebody, a young person, a break to go on to run the country. Why you just want to sit down like you have to shut up at your mother and your father live for you? And you just there. What happened to the Caribbean leaders? They know why they're doing that. And the other side of people just following them, their head down in the sun, burying their head down in the sun like us. Having a serious look at them all them African countries, them all leaders there for 10 years and they don't want to take on your backside there. I think it is. You have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Have a blessed day yourself. 449-3095-9697. I just thought I would share this information with you. I think, that our leaders, especially our own Prime Minister, should share that information with us. Always within diplomatic circles at this time. I don't know of persons, of course, saying that they are not able to get this online this morning in the UK, but please try these different platforms. LiveOnlineRadio.net, LiveOnlineRadio.net. Search for Dominica on the country and select Q95 Radio. That's one option. Another option is to download the app called myradiohot.com from the Google Play Store. Search for Q95 Radio, then press play. For those of you on TuneIn Radio. So with all these elections taking place in the Caribbean, we just heard about St. Lucia, and just before that, a few days before that, November 27th, elections in St. Vincent. Would you be surprised? Would you? I'm just asking the question. Would you be surprised if an election would be called in Dominica? Because America seemed to be, of course, putting this big stick policy down, boy. All the Caribbean leaders seem a little frightened about that.
It's Kaiso! Yes, the Calypso season is upon us. Saturday, December 13, 2025 at the Factory, Valley Road, only $20. 8 o'clock, seating only $30. Come here, the beginning of the season, and make sure you're there till the end. Many Calypsonians will be competing. Only 12 gladiators will make it. The grand eliminations for the 2026 Calypso season, Saturday, 13 December 2025. Remember, 8 o'clock at the Factory. Come here, the funny songs, the serious songs, political songs, everything. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your dog, and come. Kaiso! It's Kaiso! Yes, the Calypso season is upon us. Saturday, December 13, 2025 at the factory, Valley Road. Only $20. 8 o'clock, sitting only $30. Come here, the beginning of the season, and make sure you're there till the end. Many Calypsonians will be competing. Only 12 gladiators will make it. The grand eliminations for the 2026 Calypso season. Saturday, 13 December 2025. Remember, 8 o'clock at the factory. Come here, the funny songs, the serious songs, political songs, everything. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your dog, and come. Kaiso, Kaiso, Kaiso.
If you know your favorite store, dial it now. 612-1253. That's Mega. You can rely on Mega for some real deals on name brand clothing and electronics. High quality, low price. We are a wholesale and retail store located in Calabishi, right on the main road. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram at Mega Deals Dominica. Like our page. Check out our stuff. Call us. Visit us. Would appreciate that. Come try it on. Love it. Buy it at Mega Deals. Your one and only online and brick and mortar store. Mega Deals is also on wheels. We make it convenient for your shopping. We deliver straight to your door. Email us at info@megadealsda.com. Rely on Mega Deals for some real deals.
It's officially white potato season in Dominica. To celebrate, Bloombox is giving you the chance to win a 196cc 4-stroke 6.5 horsepower tiller valued at over $3,000. Wow! You heard right. Simply make a purchase of $75 or more between October 13th and December 27th, 2025, and you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win this powerhouse machine to make your next planting season even easier. Winner will be announced on December 29th. Visit us at Bloombox Goodwill and Roseau. Terms and conditions apply. Let's bloom together with Bloombox.
If you know quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums. Belfast Estate Limited, over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, Root Boy drink, and of course, Sunglass juices, Thomas Snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in Dominica.
Esau Trading Limited 47th Independence Celebration is on. Shop $47 and over and get a chance to win $3,000 worth of vouchers. First prize winners receive a $500 voucher. Second prize winners $300 voucher. Third prize winners $200 voucher. And 20 vouchers will be available at the value of $100 each. This independence season, Esau Trading Limited is offering senior citizens 15% discount every Wednesday from October 15th to November 25th, 2025. Also, loyalty card holders will receive double points every Tuesday and Thursdays. And customers who purchase one packet of Hare's Deep Dish Pizza 6 ounce or Hare's Restaurant Style 9 ounce will get a 1 ounce packet free honey cheese flavored or barbecue flavored potato chip. You will also get 10% off 8 packet 1 ounce Hare's snacks. Hurry, this offer ends on November 15th, 2025. Esau Trading Limited. We are here for you.
I think there may be a problem, but we're still trying to explore what's going on. A number of persons have been indicating that, you know. Can you find out for me, solid waste and Dowasco, why the services have not been extended to the Wallace area? We've been having water outage for about 1 month now. Garbage has not been collected for over 1 month now. So what is really going on there in the Wallace area? A lot of people are complaining that there's no water, no water services. So something may be going on there. Let me try if I can get to Dowasco to find out just why you guys have not been having water for the past month. Make a call to Dowasco. Somebody's asking what is going on with Q from this morning. I've been hearing some reggae music. I see that you're live on Facebook, but the music is still playing on live online radio. I like to think not much people are listening right now because they do not know why or if there's a program or not, unless they come on Facebook. So yes, we'll try to rectify and give you more information once it becomes available. Good morning to you, Gertrude. Good morning. Hope you had a restful weekend getting ready for Toronto. Good morning to you, Emma. Have a blessed Monday.
AutoTrade is introducing our very own mobile app. Yes, the AutoTrade app is here. From scheduling your service appointments, request financing, checking our vehicle and parts inventory, to receiving personalized coupons and sales specials. Life is so much easier with the new AutoTrade app. Download the AutoTrade app from the Play Store or App Store today. Call us at 255-6800. AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship. Big news, Dominica! DeWitt Center is now even closer to you with the opening of DeWitt Center Express, conveniently located on Cork Street, right next to Fresh Market. Get all your home improvement essentials fast with everything from tools and paints to home decor and more. Plus, enjoy the same great service you know and trust. Now, just a quick stop in the city. Visit us today at DeWitt Center Express, your partner in home improvement, now closer than ever. 'Cause I'm on my way.
KFC delivery is here. Just place your order at www.kfcdominica.com, Facebook or WhatsApp at 614-2633 and your order will be delivered to you. KFC, it's good.
'Cause I'm on my way.
Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yeah?
Hey, good morning, man. How are you doing?
All right, hanging in there.
Yeah, how was the weekend?
Okay, restful. Everything good?
Restful. Always good, my brother. Especially when weekends come and I'm like a bird. I put on wings and I fly.
You fly.
Yeah, because I love nature, so I fly high and I look low, and wherever I see something in my interest, I just land.
You explore.
Yeah, that's what I am on the weekend. I'm the explorer, nature's boy, nature's best.
That's good. What's happening now?
Yeah. No, I just heard you said about people in Wallows or wherever complaining about water and garbage and asking what's going on. Matt, we can't be at this juncture, at this timing, ask what's going on, you know. We know what so we don't understand what's happening. Malgovernance, nepotism, insider trading, siphoning of money, mismanagement, misplaced priorities. Now that's what's going on, and we have seen it for years. This garbage thing is not a thing that just started yesterday, you know. That started off years ago, you know, and it just filtered along to the point where people start seeing the garbage just piling up, and then it came with this, this what they call a solution. 2 one-out trucks from wherever they got them. Maybe come from a country where it's just strictly flat road, and you bring them to a mountain.
So you're saying these are not new trucks from your...
My brother, these are, but I told you from the time the trucks landed, I didn't see them. But when I saw a truck came to pick up garbage, I realized that's one of the new trucks. When I heard the hydraulics on the truck, as a matter of fact, the suspension on the truck is bad. And I can tell that because I understand mechanics and how things work. All right? And the suspension on the vehicle is no good. Then when I heard the truck trying to compress the garbage, the hydraulics has already failed. And I guess it comes from a place where it was getting maintenance, you know. But everything has a time. So it expired time. It was off the fleet wherever it came from, and we brought it into Dominica as new truck. I don't know we are sick people for to be accepting that. And we know that didn't solve no problem because garbage is all over the place. In Kingston, the garbage has not been picked up for like weeks. And I'm saying that I drove around. I drove to the northeast Marisot area on Saturday. My brother, garbage is all over the place. The week before that, I drove from Marigot all the way back to Portsmouth. All these Dan Bon, Pave Bush, all these places have garbage all over the place. And I can understand something that affected the whole country and people not doing nothing about it. Though we have to stand up and shut down this nonsense that's going on. It is not going to stop because this is they sit high and mighty, they're cashing in, they're rich, and they don't worry about the poor. As a matter of fact, they make even the middle class the working poor now. Now you can imagine the working...
So you basically said, Mervyn, they had the priorities miscrossed? Across?
But that's what it is. That's what it is. Say a problem priority, we there, Dominic. Misplaced priorities is what it is. Greed, nepotism, insider trading. This is all that's going on. You know, these people that's there and they decide what's going on. Not in the governance system, those that surrounding them. These people just benefiting, in other words, from ill-gotten gain, you know. Ill-gotten gain. Because in the week there, I heard you said the government haven't got money to pay $1,500 salaries.
Increase of $1,500.
Increase, all right? And so okay, we have money to increase the salaries of bonafide working people. But you can spend millions, you can put millions into career festivals. You can put millions into sets. You can put, look at the botanical gardens that's destroyed. You can put millions in all these activities. And still, when you set up, it's just so many things that I'm talking to you, that just spinning by odometer. Too much. And the people cannot even get a grasp of what's going on because Cicepayon say a lot. And that Cicepayon say a lot now. Look, that's a plat primaire, c'est plus mal. It just gets worse by the day, by the hours. And if we don't fix it, it's not going to fix because the people that they don't care, no empathy, no sympathy, no regard. So it's serious stuff that's going on, and people just stand aside and look and thinking that there's some benefit to derive from that. My brother, I don't want no benefit from the devil. I don't want no benefit from no demon. A demon will only bring you a curse. And what we see in there is like a plague, a curse, brimstone and fire falling down on us, and we're looking for something else. Okay, the blessing.
So you stop blaming the government. You're blaming the people of Dominica now, yes?
My brother, not of course, man, but not that we have seen what's at play. So why is it allowed to fester? Because we are the people that are allowing it. Everywhere else, people stand up for less than that, less than what's happening there. They took our gas. We have gas crisis. Nobody did nothing. We have light crisis. Lights going up like crazy for years. generator problem, and then we are sitting by and look. Then we have all kinds of issues. And we're not doing, you know what it is to have a garbage issue in your country that you call Nature Island, and you're inviting tourists to come here? It is tourist open season, and you ain't clean up your shit. My brother, have a good day.
Those of you having a problem connecting this morning, I suspect you should go to YouTube and try to get connection, because people on Facebook are, of course, connecting, but I suspect the other platforms may be having some problem, especially TuneIn Radio. A lot of people from the UK have been calling my phone saying we can't get on. Something is definitely going on. They only hear reggae music, another program. I feel your strain this morning. Let me say hi to my friend from Toronto who's visiting the island. I suspect she's sad to go back this morning. Thanks for your visit, Emma. Thank you. Thank you. Let me say again, good morning to Gertrude. I know she's locked in. Some people are saying that they're not getting into tune in. Some people are saying it's fine so far. So maybe, I guess it depends on what part of the world you are. Somebody's saying kids saying they're getting it and it's fine. Some people in the US saying, no, I'm not getting this. Some people in the UK saying, no, I'm not getting this. Somebody from Tarish Pete saying that they have rubbish so high there in Tarish Pete. So please, the authorities, do something about it. You know, before they would send a truck to pick up the rubbish. This year, not a cabaway. So there's definitely a problem with rubbish. The people of Gota, Tarish Pete are complaining. Again, nomination day for election day in St. Lucia is November 21st. Election day, December 1. Are you smelling something in the air now? Somebody else in Florida said, Matthew, we're hearing you very enough on TuneIn, so something is going on, some tune-ins around the world. Let's play a voice note now.
Good morning. Matt, it's a long time nothing happening, you know. Some reggae music just cutting off for about a couple of seconds or sometimes like 2-3 minutes, you know. Yeah, and we're missing out. You check? We can't afford to miss out, so fix that problem, Matt. I ain't got nothing to say this morning. I just listening to hear what's going on. But I can tell you, Matt, we should never find ourselves in that situation we're in Dominica. Believe me, you, Matt. We should never find ourselves in this situation. But it's not scary. It's Dominicans themselves that causing that. Because, let me just hush you, because you know something? Before they have to say blah, 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 because it just seems to me they don't understand what's going on. Just take out Mr. there. And the next person on the put, if they satisfying all you means and whatever, take them out too. Only 2 way, yo. Until you find something good. That is not by party and blah, blah, blah. It's about your pocket. We should never find ourselves in this kind of problem. No banana, no agriculture, nothing. And Dominica is about water and land. The best fertile soil in the world. Oh, sure, but let's get from here.
Somebody says the signal in Mao is top notch. Great signal. On the telephone. Hello, good morning to you. Yes.
Yes, but they really have a problem with that water in not in the wall house in the other part name of wall house.
Castle Comfort?
Castle Comfort.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the water just go in when it wants, coming back when it wants. That's what the people there tell me. And the garbage in the area there is just as bad.
So hold on. How often they pick up garbage in the Bafferset area?
Bafferset area, I can't keep a thing on timeline on that now because sometimes for like last week they came. What date was in the week? It was odd.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to come twice a week. They come in maybe every other week, and that's it. They didn't come on Friday. Today, I don't know what will happen. They will come in the week here today. But Dawasco have a problem. When a line bursts, a pipeline bursts, I expect when the water flowing out, right? Isn't that so?
Yeah.
So when they're doing the repairs to the pipe, why are we getting so much dirty water all the blasted time? Why? And for long. But yesterday, practically for the whole day yesterday, the water dirty. Not by me alone on the other side. My sister-in-law tell me she had clothes to wash. I said, I want to not white clothes. And it's a little clean. Try and wash, rinse it out. Because the water always dirty. If the pipeline break and they're doing repairs to it, they're supposed to get clean water. For a little minute, the water might come dirty, and after it will come clean, but the water stays dirty for every tap you open in the place, the water dirty. That's nonsense. And people drinking dirty water and they're not even aware of it sometime, Matt. In that first stage, because when you feel the water clean, the water dirty. Have a blessed day, Tan.
Have a blessed day, Blue. Now, some time ago, I heard the Prime Minister saying he's going to adjust this whole issue of the rates. He said that. So why are these rates have not been changed? The small businesses are still suffering and they have not been adjusted. So please, Dawasco, tell me when these rates will be adjusted. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Good morning, Matt.
Good morning to you, yes?
Matt, community day of service, people clean up, they throw out all kinds of fridges and stoves and all that. And it was customary for the truck to come to pick it up, but we see no sign of that, Matt. And I've got tons of it right outside my door because I live on the edge of the valley, and people from the valley brought it all up. So I don't know. Now, in regard to one of the previous callers talking about it should not be a party thing. Not only should it not be a party thing, you should vote for the best candidate in your constituency. So if there's an independent candidate who is on the ball and you're not seeing the party in power's representative trying to do something, for example, in Goodwill, Roseau North, we don't see that pile rep. That pile rep is out of commission. So therefore, the next person who you're seeing should be the one to vote. We're not seeing anybody. It seems to me like there's a hole there for somebody to come to Roseau North and fill that hole, man. There's an opportunity there for someone who is wants to be involved in politics. And the people should see that person and vote for them. Forget party. It's the person who's willing to represent you. Thank you, Matt.
Let's see, we're going to take another phone call. Are you there? Yes, caller? Yes?
Yes, Matt, good morning.
Morning to you, sir. Morning.
What's up?
You sound like you have a lot of energy this morning. What's going on?
Not really, no, Matt. But I was very upset on Friday at the custom.
Why were you upset?
Matt, I want you to ask the quarantine department in Dominica a question for me. I want you to ask them, what is the reason why that we cannot bring empty bags, the crackered bags? You see them bags, they just ship load out of the country back. I want to know why we cannot bring these bags back in the country. Why? What is the effect? What it's going to do to Dominica for the hucksters to bring back the bags to assist the farmers to sell their load. Matt, there is no bag factory in Dominica. You don't have no way selling bags in Dominica like that. The bakeries is who used to sell the bags for the hucksters or for the people who shipping the load out, and they used to sell it for $2. Now the bakeries is not buying the big 100-pound bags no more. They're buying the 50-pound bags. The 50-pound bag is too small to ship the load. So now it is difficult to get bags to ship out the load that we're buying from the farmers. So we're asking the people where we're shipping the load to please send back the bags for us, because we have a bag shortage in Dominica. Because we don't have nowhere selling bags by big bulk, and we don't have no bag factory in Dominica. Now, the quarantine department is telling us that we cannot bring back bags in Dominica. Once it go out, it cannot come back in. I want to know why. I want to know what is it the farmers for Dominica do this government. Why everything the farmers do? The farmers do have no ticket to the garden. The farmers cannot sell their produce. The little hucksters that is asking the farmers to sell their little produce for them so that they can ship it out of the island. You're telling me we cannot get back to ship out the farmers' produce. And because we ask you to bring back, not right now, I have a 100 bags in the person I cannot get. I go to my bag, and the people come and tell me I cannot bring my bag, and they cannot give me a good reason why I cannot go with my bag. I say, but that bag leaving Dominican go back Guadeloupe Monday, 2 days of bags going back Guadeloupe at shipload, and not it don't.
Well, something seems wrong with the telephone. Are you still there, caller?
Yes, I'm still there. You hear me?
Yeah, I think you're going away from some say sports. So stick in the area you are. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So I was telling you, I end up buying load and shipping it yesterday, which is 2 days supposed to go, because tomorrow is a holiday in Guadeloupe. So which means the bags was not even staying in Dominica. As the bags come, it's going back out one time, because that is what we're doing. We're buying load from the farmers. We assisting the farmers to send the farmers load, but we need bags to do it. And you're telling me that you're telling us that when we send the bag go, we cannot get back our bag. All you have to tell us is make sure when the bag come back, it come back clean and it come back nice. That's all. And then when we send it out, we send it back out clean, and just make sure it have no dirt, because we know.
So basically, who's stopping you from shipping these bags? Who's stopping you?
I'm quarantine department. The quarantine department is the one that invest. I'm checking them bags and the load on them when you send it out. They is the one responsible of that. So the custom telling me they cannot give me the bag unless the quarantine department supervise the bag. When I go to quarantine department and they come and supervise the bag, they're telling me they cannot make me go with the bag. So I say, why? And they cannot give me a good reason why I cannot go with bags. So what the bag doing to Dominica? The bags come Dominica full of flour. It come Dominica full of rice. It come Dominica full of feed for animals. Why it cannot come back empty? Why? Tell me. And nobody cannot give me a proper reason why. So I want you to get a correct officer and let them explain to us the reason why we cannot bring back our bags in Dominica, so that we can assist our farmers. Our farmers have been struggling. Our farmers need help. They need to sell their load. The load is and Dexter cannot buy all that our farmers have. And if we buy in that and send it out.
So how are the farmers doing in St. Joe? I know that's where you're from. How are the farmers now doing in St. Joe?
Man, our farmers cannot do nothing in St. Joe. We don't have farmers in St. Joe again. We have 1-2 farmers that is still struggling doing what they're doing, but we don't have farmers. It don't have road in Ackley. It don't have road in...
But St. Joseph used to be one of the most productive communities. What has really happened there? I don't understand.
I like the word you use. Used to. Now the same farmers that used to done in St. Joseph, receiving $100 from Haitian, renting the property for Haitian, and getting $300 hand out from government, and they believe to themselves that is it, and that's what happened to us. No, that is what happened to us. Haitian gotten all our food crop, all our tree crop, because it's fast crop Haitian planting. Nothing that lasting long, Haitian not investing in that. You understand? And all our fruit tree right now, you can never get grapefruit and oranges in Dominica that easy. You understand? And that's what happening to us in Dominica. After the hurricane mash up what it mash up, the Haitian coming and cutting down what they're cutting for them to plant fast crop. Because the Haitian end up planning to stay in Dominica and go. You know what I mean? So the plan to stay in Dominica is plan make money and go and do the business. You understand? And we as the farmers in Dominica now, we are the one that's struggling with our road.
But again, to your point earlier, somebody's saying, my brother, to use bags, you got to bring in all the kind of insects. If you use this kind of bags, you know they bring in insects and frogs, so you'd understand why these quarantine people may have some problems using the bags. Yeah,
Matt, you cannot bring insects in bags when you have procedures. All you have to do, because they must inspect the bag before you get it. Because that is what they're doing. They on the pot to inspect everything that's coming in Dominica. So that is their job. So if you bring bags in Dominica and it have insect in it, then them bags they will be rejected. But you cannot tell me you bring your bag is clean. The person that tell me that, I said they're speaking nonsense. Because that is why they have supervised. You have to supervise the bag that is coming in. You understand? And if the bags coming in, you have to have terms and conditions to bring in the bags in. Because you know we need the bags. You understand? So don't come and tell me nothing about insects coming in back. The Chinese bringing containers. You know what's coming in the containers? The Chinese bringing all kind of boxes and all kind of big jumbo bag in Dominica. You know what's coming in it? And we as the Oxford, we cannot be small back because it's also going to be insect in Dominica. All them quapo that's coming in Dominica there, it's also bringing it in Dominica. Huh? 30% is nonsense they're speaking. And Dominicans, always like press Dominicans, our farmers need to ship their road out. And we have to assist our farmers. And more farmers need to talk. We need our bags so that we can ship our load out. We do our bag factory in Dominica. We cannot get bags to buy in Dominica. So we need our bags. So 30% I said we need our bags so that we can continue assisting our farmers with all the dashing they have in the ground. And the dashing cannot stay long because the dashing going to spoil. And we need to ship the dashing out. We cannot ship it out with a bag. And document me put it in boxes. Boxes $10 a box. We can afford to buy box. Bag is $2. You understand? So that is my point this morning, there, Mark. And they need to come back on that and quarantine need to tell us the reason why we cannot bring back. Don't come to me nothing about insect. Nonsense they're speaking. But that's what they're getting paid for, to inspect it back. Man, have a good morning.
Have a good morning there. Hello, talk to me, a frustrated farmer there. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Hey, Matt, good morning. I listened to that conversation there.
Yes.
And that is a double standard kind of move. For quarantine to be doing that to farmers, and then you have now all the other people are bringing their heavy equipment, sometimes not even through the port, just on the beaches. You don't know what it's coming with. So we have all these giant African snails, we have
all these big cement bags coming in, yes? So
exactly. And then, but even last night, you know, the amount of trucks from the Chinese trucks that operating in Marigot passed me with some kind of big, I don't know, the measurement on that pipe must be about a 5 feet pipe, the diameter. I mean, I can maybe almost start in the whole of that pipe. And about 5 trucks passed me heading to Marigot. And I guess they came from the port because the last one I passed was sitting right outside the port by Marboy's barrier.
You may be right, you know, because I understood that there's some tunnel building going on there around the Marigot area. So you may be
my
right.
brother, I passed in that area on Saturday, I told you. And listen, when before the independence season there, I went for 3 different people at the airport. That's before the independence. I went back, bringing back 2. Yesterday I brought back, Saturday I brought back one of my friends. And my brother, within the past 3 weeks, if you see what these guys have done to these roads in that area, after they finish with the Hempstead area coming back to Wesley, right now the Deca Lane from at the bottom of the bridge there from Desbois, going all the way back to Marigot. My brother, no, this is, I don't know what's wrong with our people. I just really don't know. I used to talk about bewitching. I talk about so many things back in the day. Today, I think people are so far gone. We have lost it all. Lost our moral compass, lost our integrity, lost our moral standing, lost everything to this demon. Or you can have a demon just convert a whole country into what it is there. And the few people that standing up there like the oddball in the game, they are the ones that, in other words, I crying wolf, they have the problem. And they're not seeing the bigger problem. This problem is affecting all of us. These rivers are going to be affected. The landscape is going to be affected. A lot of things. Our farming is going to be affected. It's affected already. Because when you have all these foreign trucks coming in, some coming in right on the beach front, without passing for customs. And then so when the quarantine officer at that time, they don't know what's going on. So it's going on a higher level and it's above their pay grade. They can't go there and do nothing about it. And then you're hustling a little farmer that's selling his produce and need the bags and the box and the this and the that to stop him. But all that is a design to even bring the people further down into poverty. So you have to come to me. You have to come to the demon. You have to come to the one who tells you, don't go. Am I going to tell you, go and pray to God when I can answer your prayers faster than God? My brother, I'll never forget that statement, and I've seen people living by that today. It tells me that a lot of people are giving their praise and their blessing to the demon. And we cannot, as a nation, derive a blessing from that. We will get cursed fire, brimstone, and all kind of plague on us because of what we are doing, what we are accepting on that level. The Antichrist is real in this place. Have a good day.
When I come back, I'll be sharing some information there that scientists has revealed as it relates to Caribbean volcanoes starting to erupt without warning. Take note. We're going to take a break and we'll come back, Dominica. This is the Hot Set, Dominica's Most Trusted Mouth program.
We are open 7 days a week with the top of the line products. Well stocked supermarket and pharmacy, health and beauty care, fresh produce and meat prepared daily, hot and cold kitchen, ready to go meals, sandwiches, salads, and desserts at your fingertips. Easy access, located on the bayfront, environment friendly, and our staff are approachable and ready to assist. Have you figured out who we are? You got it. Fresh your one stop. Comes and your pocket doesn't touch you. Fresh market, come by once and make you smile. Cut Black Friday, come around. We are the best prices in town. The price not our. Yeah, it's back. Cut Black Friday. I tell you, hurry fast, traffic on the highway. You know we got unbeatable prices. Furniture, electronics, and appliances. Are you coming? And best things of the season, shop and quick to it. And when we don't forget till next year, January, crocodile come down to go. What's ready low? What's ready low?
It's in the feeling in our weeks out. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. Cause give it up like he's bumping. Together going strong. No matter what we keep things going. Before we will go home. It's up in the sky. Celebrate, come let your rhythm flow.
You know, I always want to educate our listeners there. It appears that scientists may be terrified as Caribbean volcanoes start erupting without warning. So let me just share some information with you at this time. Stay on alert. We have many volcanoes in Dominica. It's like the sleeping giants, huh?
It's hard to believe, but beneath the Caribbean's beauty, a chain of volcanoes is waking up. Beneath the calm waters and beaches, pressure is building, and the balance may be breaking.
Today's top 3, an explosive eruption in the Caribbean. Look at this volcano on the island of St. Vincent. It erupted today after being dormant for decades. Cruise ships are now racing to help evacuate thousands and thousands of people before another emergency on the island.
It's hard to believe, but beneath the postcard beauty of the Caribbean, a chain of sleeping volcanoes is stirring back to life. White sand beaches, turquoise seas, and calm trade winds, mask one of the most volatile regions on Earth. A place where fire, water, and pressure have been battling for millions of years just beneath the surface. And now, that balance may be breaking. Across the islands, seismic alarms are lighting up. From Grenada to Guadeloupe, deep tremors ripple through the crust. Subtle at first, a hum too faint for humans to feel, but unmistakable to scientists who've seen this pattern before. Sulfur fills the air near volcanic vents. Rivers run hot. The ocean itself churns with strange bubbles rising from unseen fissures. Experts warn that what's happening isn't random. It's connected. Each volcano in the Lesser Antilles arc, from La Soufrière to Mount Pelée, from Morne Trois Pitons to Mount Scenery, appears to be responding to a single pulse deep within the Earth. Satellite data reveals a rising wave of heat and gas pressure moving northward through the mantle, linking every volcanic system like a living chain. In plain sight, nature is setting the stage for something the modern Caribbean has never seen. A multi-volcano reactivation that could reshape entire islands, devastate economies, and transform paradise into peril. This isn't speculation, it's warning. The USGS, the University of the West Indies Seismic Centre, and multiple European research teams have now placed several Caribbean volcanoes under increased monitoring. Yet for all their instruments and data, one terrifying truth remains. No one knows which one will erupt first. If the Caribbean's tranquil shores are really just the surface of a sleeping giant, what happens when the giant finally wakes? Stay with us, because what scientists are uncovering beneath these islands could change how we see the Caribbean and the Earth itself forever. Chapter 1: The Sleeping Giant Beneath the Waves. Kikumjeni, Grenada. It's hard to believe, but just 8 kilometers north of Grenada, hidden beneath the turquoise shimmer of the Caribbean Sea, lies one of the most dangerous volcanoes on Earth. Its name sounds playful, Kikumjeni, but there's nothing amusing about what's happening below. At a depth of only 180 meters, this submarine volcano rises like a jagged mountain from the seafloor. It's part of the Lesser Antilles volcanic arc, a chain born from the collision of the Atlantic and Caribbean tectonic plates. For centuries, it slumbered unseen, until 1939, when it erupted without warning, sending a column of water and ash nearly 300 meters into the air, and generating waves that reached Grenada's shores in minutes. Since then, Kikumjeni has erupted at least 14 times, most recently in 2018. But what alarms scientists now isn't what they've seen, it's what they're hearing. Hydroacoustic sensors stationed around the volcano have detected deep harmonic tremors, low-frequency vibrations that often signal magma movement. At the same time, submersible drones have captured gas bubbles rising from vents the size of cars, evidence that the volcano's internal pressure is building. Satellite images reveal subtle sea surface bulges, the telltale sign of swelling beneath the crust. The greatest danger, however, isn't the eruption itself. It's the tsunami risk. If Kikumjeni's upper cone collapses, the resulting underwater landslide could send walls of water racing toward Grenada, Barbados, and St. Vincent within minutes. With over 1 million people living along those coasts, the stakes couldn't be higher. The Caribbean Sea hides many secrets, but few as volatile as this. So the question that keeps scientists awake tonight is this: when Kikumjeni erupts again, will the Caribbean have enough time to run? Chapter 2: The Island That Vanished. Soufrière Hills, Montserrat. What if paradise could vanish overnight? For the tiny Caribbean island of Montserrat, that nightmare became real. Once known as the Emerald Isle of the Caribbean, its lush hills and quiet towns were shattered in 1995 when the Soufriere Hills volcano, silent for centuries, awoke with terrifying fury. It began quietly, small tremors, faint puffs of ash. No one believed it could be the start of something catastrophic. But within months, the mountain exploded, raining fire and ash over the southern half of the island. The capital city, Plymouth, was buried beneath meters of volcanic debris, a modern Pompeii lost to time. Streets turned into rivers of mud. Roofs collapsed under the weight of ash. The air itself became toxic. Then came the pyroclastic flows, avalanches of superheated gas and rock moving at 100 miles per hour. They consumed everything in their path. Survivors remember the roar, the sound of the earth tearing itself apart. For years, Soufriere Hills refused to rest. Eruptions continued into the 2000s, reshaping the island and forcing thousands to flee. Today, 2/3 of Montserrat remains an exclusion zone, off limits to human life. The once thriving capital lies entombed beneath ash, its church spires and street lamps barely visible above the grey. And now, the volcano is stirring again. Recent satellite images show renewed heat signatures and dome growth, subtle but unmistakable signs of activity. Seismic stations recorded a swarm of microquakes beneath the dome in 2024, a possible signal that magma is once again on the move. For a nation that already lost half its home, the question is haunting. Can Montserrat survive a second rebirth of the Soufriere Hills? Or will the island disappear for good this time? The scars of 1995 still smoulder beneath the ash. The Caribbean remembers, and the Earth has not yet finished its story. Chapter 3. The volcano that shook the Caribbean. La Soufriere, St. Vincent. It's hard to believe, but in April 2021, a volcano that had slept for decades reminded the world that the Caribbean's beauty can hide unimaginable power. High above the emerald hills of St. Vincent, the La Soufriere volcano erupted with a force that stunned even the scientists who'd been warning about it for months. The mountain had rumbled quietly since December 2020. Puffs of ash, faint tremors, a rising heat signature. But then, on April 9th, 2021, the calm shattered. A massive explosion ripped through the summit, sending a plume of ash nearly 10 miles into the sky and blanketing the island in darkness. By midday, day had turned to night. Lightning flickered through the ash cloud. The air thickened with sulfur. Entire villages vanished under a choking grey veil. Over 20,000 people were evacuated, and yet for many, there was nowhere safe to go. The sea on one side, falling ash on the other. Satellite imagery showed a terrifying chain reaction. The eruption produced pyroclastic flows, searing clouds of gas and debris that raced down the slopes into once green valleys. Even weeks later, the ocean near the island glowed brown with volcanic sediment. Air travel was shut down, crops were destroyed, water became scarce. And now, 3 years later, scientists say the volcano is still breathing. Seismic sensors continue to detect low-frequency tremors beneath the summit, and new fumaroles have appeared, small vents releasing sulfur dioxide and carbon gases that hint at magma movement below. The island's recovery has been slow, but the danger has never truly passed. La Soufriere's eruptions in 1812, 1902, 1979 and 2021 follow an eerie pattern. About once every 40 years, the mountain wakes again. So the question is chillingly simple. If the pattern holds, is La Soufriere merely resting or counting down? The Caribbean's deadliest volcanoes don't die. They wait. And St. Vincent's fiery crown may not have spoken its last word yet. Chapter 4. The Day the City Burned. Mount Pelée, Martinique. What if an entire city could vanish in less than 2 minutes? On the morning of May 8, 1902, the Caribbean island of Martinique awoke to a scene from a nightmare. The sky above Mount Pelée, the island's towering volcano, had turned black. Birds fell silent. Animals fled the forests. But in the coastal city of Saint-Pierre, life went on. Merchants opened shops, children walked to school, and politicians assured the frightened citizens there was no danger. At 7:52 a.m., the mountain exploded. What followed remains one of the deadliest volcanic disasters in human history. A pyroclastic surge, a superheated cloud of gas, ash, and rock moving faster than a hurricane, roared down the mountain, vaporizing everything in its path. In less than 120 seconds, Saint-Pierre, once called the Paris of the Caribbean, was gone. More than 29,000 people died instantly. Eyewitnesses miles away described a wall of flame rushing towards the sea. So hot, it turned ships to molten metal. The temperature exceeded 1,000 degrees Celsius, 1,832 degrees Fahrenheit, enough to fuse human remains to stone. Only 2 people survived, a cobbler in his basement and a prisoner locked inside a stone cell that shielded him from the inferno. Mount Pelé's eruption became a warning to the world, proof that even paradise can become hell in an instant. And though more than a century has passed, Pelée has not fallen silent. In 2020, the Observatoire Volcanologique et Sismologique de Martinique raised its alert level after detecting new seismic swarms and gas emissions beneath the mountain. Thermal imagery showed magma moving again, deep, slow, but steady. The earth beneath Martinique is breathing, and the ghost of Saint-Pierre is stirring. So the question remains, if Pelée destroyed an entire city once, what would it do today, when millions live within its reach? Because history, it seems, is only waiting for the mountain to speak again. Chapter 5. The Restless Mountain. La Soufrière, Guadeloupe. It's hard to believe, but one of the Caribbean's most picturesque islands sits atop a volcano so active, the locals call it La Grande Soufrière, the Great Sulphur Mine. And in the lush heart of Guadeloupe, this smoking mountain has never truly slept. At first glance, La Soufrière seems harmless. Its green slopes shimmer under tropical sunlight, its summit often wrapped in gentle clouds. Tourists hike its trails every year, drawn by the promise of panoramic views and steaming vents. But beneath that beauty, the earth is alive, breathing heat, gas, and tension. In 1976, the illusion of peace shattered. After months of tremors, gas bursts, and ominous rumblings, La Soufrière erupted in a series of violent explosions that tore open its summit crater. The government, fearing catastrophe, ordered a mass evacuation of over 70,000 people, one of the largest in Caribbean history. But here's the twist. The eruption, though powerful, wasn't catastrophic. The real battle was political. Famous volcanologist Haroun Tazieff clashed with authorities, whispering insisting the eruption was phreatic, steam-driven, not magmatic. Others warned of a much larger disaster. The result? Chaos, confusion, and panic across the island. For months, the volcano spewed toxic gases and ash, destroying crops and poisoning rivers. When the tremors finally stopped, Guadeloupe's people returned home. But the fear never left. And that fear may have been justified. In recent years, scientists have detected renewed signs of unrest. Seismic swarms have multiplied beneath the volcano, and satellite data reveals heat anomalies near the summit fumaroles. Gas measurements show an increase in carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, suggesting magma is rising once again. La Soufrière doesn't roar. It whispers, simmers, and waits. Experts say it could erupt again without much warning, especially if rainwater seeps into the hot rock below, triggering a sudden steam explosion. So the question is this: when the next tremor shakes Guadeloupe, will it be another false alarm, or the start of the Caribbean's next great eruption? Because beneath the mist and sulfur, the mountain is still watching and breathing. Chapter 6. The Boiling Heart of the Caribbean. Morne Trois Pitons, Dominica. What if paradise itself was sitting on a cauldron? On the island of Dominica, often called the nature island of the Caribbean, the lush rainforest hides a secret older and more powerful than any storm. Beneath its waterfalls, beneath its emerald valleys, lies a restless volcano known as Morne Trois Pitons, a mountain that breathes in heat and exhales through boiling lakes. Dominica isn't just home to one volcano, it's built on 9, all connected through a web of magma chambers. But Morne Trois Pitons in the island's southern highlands is the most active and unpredictable. At its heart lies the boiling lake, a natural wonder that draws travelers from around the world. A steaming crater where water bubbles at nearly 100 degrees Celsius, 212 degrees Fahrenheit. It looks calm from a distance, but that lake is the surface of something much deeper, something alive. The last major eruption here occurred over 1,000 years ago, forming vast lava domes and reshaping the island's terrain. But modern instruments now detect the same patterns: rising gas emissions, ground deformation, and micro-earthquakes that often precede new activity. In 1997, the boiling lake mysteriously drained overnight, leaving behind a smoking pit before refilling days later. Scientists believe the event was caused by a blockage in the volcanic vent, a reminder that the pressure below is still shifting. More recently, between 2022 and 2024, gas measurements taken by the University of the West Indies Seismic Research Centre revealed a spike in carbon dioxide output, one of the clearest signs that magma is again rising toward the surface. Dominica has no major city, no vast evacuation network, just steep valleys and narrow roads that could become deadly traps if the mountain erupts. The government now maintains constant monitoring, but the volcano gives few clues before it acts. If Morne Trois Pitons were to erupt again, the combination of steam, gas, and pyroclastic flow could devastate the island in hours. So the question remains, is Dominica's paradise just a mask? And is the real Caribbean heart one of fire, waiting to rise again? Chapter 7. The Hidden Threat Above the Clouds. Mount Scenery, Saba. It's hard to believe, but one of the smallest islands in the Caribbean holds one of its most mysterious volcanoes. Rising out of the sea like an emerald fortress, the island of Saba is home to a single towering peak, Mount Scenery, the highest point in the entire Kingdom of the Netherlands. Tourists climb its misty steps to admire panoramic views of the ocean, unaware that they are standing on the summit of a living volcano. Mount Scenery last erupted around 1640, an event so violent it blanketed nearby islands in ash and forced the sea to boil. Since then, it has been quiet, almost too quiet. For centuries, locals assumed it was extinct, but modern science tells a different story. In 1995, seismologists detected the first micro-earthquakes under the island, faint tremors deep in the crust. At first, they were dismissed as tectonic noise. Then came the gas anomalies, rising sulfur dioxide levels, increasing heat flow, and the discovery of hydrothermal vents near the island's coastline. By 2023, satellite-based interferometry, a technique that measures ground movement from space, revealed subtle uplift across Mount Scenery's flanks, suggesting magma may be accumulating once again. For a volcano this small, even a minor intrusion could be catastrophic. The entire island, home to just over 2,000 residents, could be transformed in a single day. Scientists now classify Mount Scenery as potentially active, part of the same Lesser Antilles volcanic arc that includes Montserrat, St. Vincent, and Guadeloupe, all of which have erupted within the last century. The danger isn't just from lava, it's from lahars, volcanic mudflows, and ashfall, which could destroy the island's only airport, contaminate its limited water supply, and isolate Saba completely from aid. To the untrained eye, Saba looks like paradise perched above the sea. But to geologists, it's a ticking clock, one that may be inching closer to midnight. So the question is, when the next tremor shakes this tiny island, will Mount Scenery remain a postcard or become the Caribbean's next? Chapter 8. The final chain reaction. The sleeping ark awakens. What if the Caribbean's volcanoes weren't separate, but connected by something ancient, hidden, and alive? From the emerald slopes of Saba to the shattered peaks of St. Vincent, scientists are now uncovering a terrifying possibility. The entire Lesser Antilles volcanic arc, stretching over 850 kilometers, may be awakening together. For decades, researchers believed these volcanoes acted independently. But new satellite data, released by the US Geological Survey and University of the West Indies Seismic Research Center, suggests otherwise. A chain of deep mantle tremors, faint vibrations thousands of kilometers below the surface, has been moving slowly northward along the Caribbean plate. Beginning near Grenada in late 2023, the signal has now reached Guadeloupe and Dominica. It's a seismic domino effect, indicating that magma pressure is migrating, reactivating old pathways thought to be sealed for millennia. These aren't ordinary volcanoes. The Caribbean arc sits atop one of Earth's most complex subduction zones, where the Atlantic seafloor dives beneath the Caribbean plate. It's the same process that forged the islands, and the same one that could one day unmake them. Each eruption releases stress, but it also shifts it, passing the burden to the next volcano in line. In early 2025, scientists observed a chilling coincidence. Gas emissions spiked simultaneously at La Soufrière, St. Vincent, Morne Trois Pitons, Dominica, and Mount Scenery, Saba. The odds of that being random? Almost zero. It was as if the entire arc had taken one deep, collective breath. If these systems are truly interconnected, a major eruption at one site could trigger sympathetic reactions across others. A regional volcanic cascade unlike anything in recorded history. The ash clouds would disrupt air travel across the Atlantic. Tsunamis could form as pyroclastic flows plunge into the sea. And millions across the Caribbean basin would face an environmental chain reaction that could last for years. The islands that once rose from fire may one day return to it. So the haunting question lingers. Are we watching a chain of volcanoes, or the awakening of one colossal system beneath the Caribbean itself? If you're as captivated and concerned as we are by what's stirring beneath the tropics, now is the time to stay informed. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and join us as we continue to uncover the forces shaping the earth beneath paradise.
All right, Dominica. You heard the name Dominica, right? You heard in a few recent times, the Borden Lake have been drying up. Is there a signal there? No need to panic, but we have to watch closely. Yep. something to watch very closely. Huh? The scientists are concerned. Hello, talk to me.
Hello, Matt. Morning. How are you?
I'm here.
What day, Matt? That is scary, right?
It's scary.
Yeah, Matt, you can remember a few years ago, 20 years ago, because I live in Walhouse. There was a time the bank didn't want to give you loans, to build Walhouse.
It's true.
Yes, because what they said, that our volcano will erupt some point in time. Nobody knew, But I can remember that well, some of the banks, they were reluctant to give you loans to build here because of that, because they had depicted that. They don't know when, but it really erupted. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes, I'm sure you remember the evacuation exercises taking place in the south. I remember that. It's not a question of how, but when. I know Mr. Anthony Martin has been warning for some time, all the digging going on there. It relates to geothermal. Are we messing these things up? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. All this drilling taking place on the top of the mountains. Somebody says she's right, for real. Geothermal have been part of playing that. Some people say, if you can hear, you'll feel. That's what your mother used to say, right? 10:05. Hello, yes.
Yes, Mark, good morning.
Morning to you, morning.
Yes, we always have to remind each other. The Bible said in 2 Timothy chapter 3, it gave all the details. In Matthew 24, it gave the details of what happened. And the Apostle Peter said, when you say peace, peace, turn destruction, turn. So that is why you see we need to put ourselves in order. It is good pleasure, everything, but you put yourself in Christ. If today something happens to you, where you go in, your destiny. And people don't think that way, like more and more people getting worse, more than the pleasure and people. But we don't realize we are sitting and standing on a time bomb. And when you hear these things saying, they get scared. You see, I have said to myself already, I am not going to let anything scare me. I put my trust in God, and God knows what to do. We do the best. And I want to tell Dominicans, learn to put ourselves in God, because we do not know when is the hour and when is the time. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Somebody's asking me, but Matt, why are you playing this? I'm just sharing information. Why should I not? Just education. Hello, talk to me. Lucille, what are you afraid of? Hello, talk to me. How you doing?
Good morning to all the listeners here, particularly listeners in the South, Soufriere, Scotland, and Gallien. Thank you for bringing that report on air. But not when I used to ring you on a regular basis, let's say 10, 15 years ago, I used to tell you that we here are sitting on live volcanoes. I preached about volcanoes for a hell of a long time, until eventually I was saying to the government at the time, they must build a concrete jetty at Soufriere. And all the reasons I gave them was that if the one at Soufriere erupted, the reason for the concrete jetty is that the population would gather around there. It would be big enough so that boats would come and pick us up at Soufriere and take us to, let's say, Martinique, Guadeloupe, or wherever we're going to. I pushed for a long time about World Jetty at Soufriere. Eventually, they built one. Some people even call it my jetty. I said, no, that's not a jetty at all. In fact, the jetty, as far as I'm concerned, is not long enough, it's not wide enough. But however, better one than none. Back in 1960s, 1997, 1996, Edison James, I believe, was the Prime Minister of Dominica at the time. By the way, Edison James is obviously my favorite Prime Minister of all time. Okay, but that is for another subject, another time. Edison James contacted the seismic imaging assay in Trinidad. And they sent some scientists down here because at the time we were having tremors on a very regular basis. So Edison James got some scientists down here. And I remember particularly we had a meeting, a town hall meeting at Scott School. I went there at the time. I wanted to hear what they were saying. There's a guy called Dr. Shepard who came in to basically inform us what's going on because the whole country was dead scared. And I remember after he finished speaking, I said to him, well, Dr. Shepard, all this talk about eruption of volcanoes, etc. I said, when do you think those volcanoes will erupt? He said to me, Mr. Tavernier, I cannot tell you when, but what I can tell you for sure and 100% certain is that they will eventually erupt. That will happen. Now, from your report this morning, it seems to me that the word eventually seems to take a back seat because from what I gather from that reporter, it could happen anytime. We don't know. They seem to be unpredictable and they will very well happen. So I suggested at the time, as I said, that the governments of the Caribbean get together and they have a plan. The plan really was to evacuate the population basically. That if Dominica gets erupted, Guadeloupe and Martinique or whatever would send boats to pick us up and we would be sent to each of the islands. You know? So there was no plan at the time. And I pushed about that plan for a long time and nothing seemed to have happened. But my mom, when I was in England back in the 60s, my mom said to me that Soufrière used to have a regular volcanic drill telling the people what they ought to do in case there was an eruption. They had that probably once every 2 or 3 months. But this again disappeared. We don't think take it seriously, man, you know? And my big fear is that if it does happen, we are totally unprepared. So once again, as I said, the governments of the Caribbean should get together because we are actually sitting on live volcanoes. And it's a matter of time before they erupt. Okay? So what they should do, have a plan in place. So if an eruption takes place in any of the islands, we are well prepared for evacuation. But it seems to me that nothing is being done. Dominica is always what Dominica will be. A lot of talk. And the sad thing is, I'm just wondering, the Dominican people who listen to that English guy, giving them what's happening, and did they actually understand what the guy is talking about? You know, did they internalize what he said? And unless you can internalize, Matt, and understand what might happen to us, you are even wasting your time listening to Matt in the morning. You know. And as I said, Matt, I hope the Caribbean governments are listening, and I hope they put plans in place in case if an eruption does occur, we are well prepared to evacuate whichever island they're going to hit, you know. But as I said, Matt, in conclusion, thank you very much for hearing this, my brother. I must give you a Q's audio like brilliant. And you must repeat it again. Even though it's another, next couple of weeks, make the people aware of what will happen to us eventually. But have a nice day. God bless you.
Have a nice day yourself. Have a nice day yourself. All that we have, huh? This one there from
Oh, my mama told me.
Tracy Chapman.
Cause she said she learned the hard way. That you wanna spare the children. She say don't give us your soul away, cause all that you have is your soul. Don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat up a bitter fruit. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for the truth is all that you have is your soul.
Somebody says, Matt, nature is the soul of Dominica. Our rivers, mountains, hills, and valleys, our lush forests, we're now destroying the soul of our nation in the name of development. God help us.
But what a price to pay. All that you have is your soul.
Good morning. It's 10:12.
Morning, Matt. This is open line.
Yes, you can speak. Go ahead.
Matt, yesterday I passed to come out from town on the bridge. And I know when the police and whoever cleaned up the area for the coconut, you were all crying until coconut vendors give them a chance after. Matt, I passed there yesterday and I want them to hear me. The coconut vendors are the kind of better than that. Matt,
Why do you say that? I just need an explanation there. Why?
I'm looking at the hot. I don't mind they sell the coconuts and everything. They're not tidying up the place. The big shelves are not there, but the little scraps and everything is out there. the huts are still there. One to the tarpaulin and stick and pallets sticking out all over the place. If you're going to sell your coconut, I don't mind. But at the end of the day, break down the huts or put them down or get those huts that can be dismounted and the mount back up. It is unsightly, Matt. It is unsightly. And when they come now, they come back and do the same thing. We will cry for the coconut vendors and say, or just tell them to tidy up and build better and go home with their thing when the end of the day. But they are not doing that. But you need to pass on to the state of the area again. Coconut vendors do better. Thank you, Matt.
As a matter of fact, I scheduled an interview with one of the vendors there. They call him the Coconut Man. I remember Mr. Skerritt referring to him as the Coconut Man. We need to have a conversation. We just have to schedule, okay?
I was a young girl once. I had dreams, I had high hopes. Married a man who stole my heart away. Gave his love, but what a high price to pay. All that
we have is our soul, huh?
soul. Don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat up a better. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for a world of truth.
A lot of people are just thanking me for this documentary that I shared on the volcanoes, the sleeping giants. Huh? In recent times, we've been having a lot of tremors, huh?
Why was I such a young fool? But I'd make history.
I'm sure maybe just about a week ago, you know,
Something could be mine forever.
people felt their computers shaking.
Possess another, and all that you have is your
A
soul.
few tremors.
Don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat
The Jelly Man gets set, huh? We need to talk soon, okay?
a taste of justice. Hunger only for a world of truth. All that you have
Is your soul.
I thought I could find a way. Be the system, make a deal and have no just to pay. Take it all, and run away. Leave myself, first class and first rate. All that you have
Is your soul. Those of you who want to share this information as it relates to the volcanoes, feel free.
tempted by the shiny apple.
I will share, of course. It's just education, information. Huh?
Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for a world of truth is all that you have.
Is your soul.
Here I am, I'm waiting for a better day. Second chance, a little luck to come my way. Hope to dream, hope that I can sleep again. Waking a world with clear conscience and clean hands. All that you have is your soul. Don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat up a bitter fruit. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for a world of truth. All that you have is your soul. Oh, my mama told me.
There's a special invite from a geologist.
In the hard way.
A presentation on volcano hazards.
Children. She say don't give a sight
Somewhere in Coptal tomorrow.
that you have is your soul.
We'll try to attend and bring you more information.
All that you have. All that you have.
Is your soul.
All that you have. Is your soul.
Mm-hmm.
In the Caribbean, flash floods are common, making it essential for communities to develop strong emergency plans. Vulnerable groups like persons living with disabilities are often left unprotected during these events. To prevent this, both citizens and policymakers must prioritize climate mitigation and adaptation efforts to ensure the safety of all, especially the most at risk. Prête-moi tes olaires. Let's all unite, ensuring that no one gets left behind in times of disaster. Be proactive and do the right thing.
Q95.
If you're working for a while, come by once and make you smile. Hot Black Friday come around. We are the best prices in town. No price, that's our cost. Yeah, it's back. Hot Black Friday. I tell you, hurry fast, traffic on the highway. You know we got unbeatable prices. Furniture, electronics, and appliances. Are you coming? And best deals of this season, shop and quick to it. And when you forget till next year, January, crocodile come down to go. Ready low, ready low, price now, ready low. And fall with the price.
Loyalty pays back. That's why we're rewarding our customers with $400 in vouchers. That's like 5 months of your mobile bill back in your pocket. Simply add mobile to your current home internet plan and claim your $400 in rewards today. Loyalty pays back. That's how we keep your rhythm flowing.
Wait, why is she going into that spooky house? Who's that creepy old guy? Where are her friends? Why is she going in the basement? Nothing good is down there, sis. I bet you the creepy caretaker did it. Did you see his fake eye? Okay, maybe not the caretaker.
Hush.
You hush. I'm solving a mystery.
We're like the person who doesn't ruin the movie. CG United Insurance. Good like that.
Auto Trade introduces our newest line of lubricants, Valvoline, America's first branded motor oil. Valvoline has been formulating and improving motor oil longer than any other brand. From the world's first racing oil to the world's first synthetic blend, Valvoline has been trusted in engines around the world for over 150 years. Make the switch today. Choose Valvoline, the original motor oil. At Auto Trade, we only recommend the best in quality because at Auto Trade, it's more than a vehicle. It's a relationship. Valvoline lubricants, now distributed by Auto Trade.
Ever wondered what's in your milk? These are the following benefits of Distinction milk. It's a great source of calcium and protein, vitamin A and C added. It's definitely not a filled milk like some of the other brands. Distinction milk texture and taste is great for shakes, baking, pouring cream, and is side for mashed potatoes and much more. Even better, because of its rich texture, Distinction evaporated milk can be stretched. Isn't it great to know what's in your milk? Distinction milk, distributed by Fine Foods Inc.
It's officially white potato season in Dominica. To celebrate, Bloombox is giving you the chance to win a 196cc 4-stroke 6.5 horsepower tiller valued at over $3,000. Wow, you heard right. Simply make a purchase of $75 or more between October 13th and December 27th, 2025, and you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win this powerhouse machine to make your next planting season even easier. Winner will be announced on December 29th. Visit us at Bloombox Goodwill and Roseau. Terms and conditions apply. Let's bloom together with Bloombox.
From the cradle to the grave, you don't have to be listening. You need a love you want to see. You want from a visitors to be. With a commitment to quality. Therefore you and me was one the family, but now with the community. Making life easy, like it. No matter who you are, you can benefit. When you bring your mortgage with rates as low as 5%,
and loans for all your needs.
Open and them are real.
Save for your golden years and take advantage of our savings product.
We will finance your business.
Checking accounts, small business loans, wire transfers, and so much more.
NCT you all the way.
Your community financial partner.
NCTU.
Looking for flavor that blasts your taste buds? Welcome to Blast Bistro, Dominica's rooftop gem, perched above the Dominican National Lottery office. Sink your teeth into our famous Blast Burger. Savor our wings with signature sauces and sip in style with handcrafted cocktails that are bold and refreshing. Whether it's a night out or a celebration, we've got the view, the food, and the fun. Open daily from 5 p.m. Contact us at 275-4041. Blast Bistro. Good food, good vibes.
Hardware and home improvement, building supplies for you, kitchen appliances, even home decor too. Lumber, lawn, all your garden supplies, plumbing, welding, electrical supplies. Visit Do It Center at the former J. Nassif Hardware location on Goodwill Road. Call us at 255-6890. Do it Center.
Honey, did you get the glow spread and mellow cream?
A little help with the bags would be nice.
Shortly, but I need the glow spread to finish the icing for Christine's birthday cake and mellow cream to add to the soup and gravy.
No.
No?
No, I didn't get just one. I got two of each.
Aw, honey, that's just why I married you.
Spread the love with Mellow Cream and Glow Spread. They're vegan-friendly, lactose, and gluten-free. Found in all leading supermarkets nationwide.
Locally distributed by Fine Foods, Inc.
Hey, you hear the news yet? I heard Digicel got a wicked bundle to set you up. Get home internet and postpaid for just $185 a month. That's fast connection, plenty data, and no worries. And guess what? When you sign up, you're getting a free smartphone just like that. So don't stick, run into a Digicel store or check out an agent now. Terms and conditions apply. Digicel, better together, better connected, always.
Cause I'm on my way. KFC delivery is here. Just place your order at www.kfcdominica.com, Facebook or WhatsApp at 614-2633 and your order will be delivered to you. KFC, it's good. Cause I'm on my way. If you're working for a while, come by once and make you smile. Black Friday come around. We best prices in town. The price not our cost. Yeah, it's back. What's the Friday? I tell you, hurry fast, traffic on the highway. You know we got unbeatable prices. Furniture, electronics, and appliances. You come and say, weekly prices. Big advantages on the pizza shop and quick to it. And big advantages. January, look at the sign of the post. What's a regular price?
An easy way to pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
It's Kaiso. Yes, the Calypso season is upon us. Saturday, December 13, 2025 at the Factory, Valley Road. Only $20. 8 o'clock, seating only $30. Come here, the beginning of the season. And make sure you're there till the end. Many Calypsonians will be competing. Only 12 gladiators will make it. The grand eliminations for the 2026 Calypso season. Saturday, 13 December 2025. Remember, 8 o'clock at the Factory. Come here, the funny songs, the serious songs, political songs, everything. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your dog and come. Kaiso.
If you know your favorite store, dial it now. 612-1253. That's Mega Deals. You can rely on Mega for some real deals on name brand clothing and electronics. High quality, low price. We are a wholesale and retail store located in Kalabishi, right on the main road. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram at Mega Deals Dominica. Like our page. Check out our stuff. Call us. Visit us. Would appreciate that. Come try it on. Love it. Buy it. At Mega Deals. Your one and only online and brick and mortar store. Mega Deals is also on wheels. We make it convenient for your shopping. We deliver straight to your door. Email us at info@megadealsda.com. Rely on Mega Deals for some real deals.
It's officially white potato season in Dominica. To celebrate, Bloombox is giving you the chance to win a 196cc 4-stroke 6.5 horsepower tiller valued at over $3,000. Wow! You heard right. Simply make a purchase of $75 or more between October 13th and December 27th, 2025, and you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win this powerhouse machine to make your next planting season even easier. Winner will be announced on December 29th. Visit us at Bloombox Goodwill and Roseau. Terms and conditions apply. Let's bloom together with Bloombox.
If you know quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums. Belfast Estate Limited. Over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, Root Boy drink, and of course, Sunblast juices, Topper Snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in Dominica.
Esau Trading Limited 47th Independence Celebration is on. Shop $47 and over and get a chance to win $3,000 worth of vouchers. First prize winners receive a $500 voucher. Second prize winners $300 voucher. Third prize winners $200 voucher. And 20 vouchers will be available at the value of $100 each. This independence season, Esau Trading Limited is offering senior citizens 15% discount every Wednesday from October 15th to November 25th, 2025. Also, loyalty card holders will receive double points every Tuesday and Thursdays. And customers who purchase one packet of Hare's Deep Dish Pizza 6 ounce or Hare's Restaurant Style 9 ounce will get a 1 ounce packet free, honey cheese flavored or barbecue flavored potato.
All right, Dominica, we heard about the elections being announced there in St. Lucia. On the line with me, you know, this is Q95. We always try to get information for you. On the line with me is, of course, the leader of the United Party, United Workers Party there in St. Lucia, Mr. Alan Shastney. I called him this morning to find out whether the opposition is ready for the election because it's called just a few weeks away. And it almost came like a surprise. December 1 is the election day. Is Mr. Shastney and his group ready for the election? Is he alive with me from St. Lucia? Mr. Alan Shastney, good morning to you. Sir, good morning. Are you there? I think we lost your connection there for a minute, sir. Good morning. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
The big announcement was made last evening, sir. Are you ready as the opposition in St. Lucia?
The United Workers' Party has been ready. We launched all of our 17 candidates over 2 months ago. We've already announced 2 major policy positions, an SOS for the general country of seven things that we would do once we're elected. And then we also launched an SOS plan for the youth of St. Lucia, which is also 7 things that we're going to do immediately upon getting in office to help the young people of this country, because the country is in crisis. And that's the reason why the Prime Minister has had to call the election early.
But from what I gather, based on the announcement, it seems that he's calling election because he seemed confident about winning that election. How would you react to that?
Certainly, that would be the impression he's trying to give the people of St. Lucia. But when one gets past all of the propaganda and the lies and the spin that this government has been doing for the last 4.5 years, and you get down to what the basic facts are, you'll realize that he has to call the election now. The Prime Minister had made a promise that he was going to complete the St. Jude's Hospital. Originally, while they were in opposition, they said that all the hospital needed was some paint and some chemical, and they would be able to move in. Here it is now 4.5 years later, and the government has spent in excess of 400 million EC dollars on trying to restore an 80-year-old building into a hospital. They have stopped the international airport. The government is supposed to have been laying documents to the House, tabling documents in the House with regards to reports on the CIP program. And they've called the election, so they don't have to. This government knows that it cannot go to another budget because the economy has virtually collapsed. During COVID, I'm very proud of the programs that my government implemented, and we had what was called a V-shaped recovery meeting. Because of COVID, the economy contracted by 24%. And we were able to recover very, very quickly on the basis that we had a policy of coexist with COVID. And we reopened our doors as early as June in 2020. And that decision proved economically to be a very, very wise decision. And since then, this government has wasted the momentum that was created. Tourism has contracted significantly this year. Agriculture has contracted. There's been no growth in manufacturing. And in the area of construction, we've seen that one contractor has gotten the bulk of all government contracts for the last 4.5 years. So to avoid having to account to the people of this country, he's had no choice but to call an early election.
But tell me, because he did say in an interview there that the economy is on a rise in St. Lucia. Is that false?
That is false. So the Prime Minister, in his speech last night, deliberately made a comparison between 2021 and today. So in 2021, he showed that the debt to GDP was 95%. And today, the debt to GDP is 73%. But prior to COVID, so in 2019, the debt to GDP in St. Lucia was at 59%. And we'd had 3 consecutive years of economic growth. We brought youth unemployment, which when we came in 2016 was 44%. We brought youth unemployment down to 25%. And we brought the national unemployment rate down to 14%. Mm-hmm. And the country was on a significant increase. So to go and make the comparison of numbers from 2021 until today is really intellectually dishonest to the public of St. Lucia. And to try to suggest that it was misadministration and corruption that caused the demise of our economy in the first place, when everybody knew up until 2019, the country was being managed perfectly well. There was no allegations of corruptions or anything. And certainly it was during the COVID period when the economy dropped because of COVID. The GDP dropped 24%. So your debt to GDP is going to go up. It wasn't by an increase in debt. And what we've seen under this administration now is, notwithstanding the recovery plan that was put in place and the success of the recovery plan, that this government has increased the debt of this country by almost $2 billion in 4.5 years. It's unprecedented. And if he had to stay in office right now, because he can stay in office until next October, had the budget in March. If he had to go to the budget, he would have had to now lay bare all of the problems that the economy is having and to give an explanation. And he certainly decided not to do that. And it was wiser for him to call an early election.
The last election, of course, the Labour Party won that election. So what is actually different now than when the last election took place? That you feel so confident?
Sorry, repeat that question. I didn't hear you.
I said the last election, sir, the Labour Party actually won that election. So it appears that the people of St. Lucia had confidence in the Labour Party. I'm asking you now, what is different now that you think your party stands a better chance?
Well, first of all, one has to really look at the results of the last election. The Labour Party won 13 seats, and we won 2. We got 42% of the popular vote. They got 50% of the popular vote. 50% of the popular vote. They got 77% of the seats, 13. And I got, when I say I, the United Workers' Party, got two seats, so 11%. I think that we should have won 7 seats. We won 2. The 5 seats we did not win, we lost by a total of 900 votes. And 1 seat was by 400 votes. That means that 4 of the seats that we lost by 500 votes. So it was a very, very marginal victory when you take it by constituency basis. And I think that since then, let's look what has happened. The government has come in. I had brought the VAT rate down to 12.5%. The government went and imposed a health and security levy of 2.5%, so bringing the VAT rate back up to 15.5%. The government has allowed the price of bread to double. The government has allowed the price of fares to up. This government has increased taxes and put on a burden on the society at a time when there was inflation. And the cost of living has almost doubled in St. Lucia. And meanwhile, people's wages have not gone up significantly. So this government, and I think the people, they know it, and the people know it, have been a dismal failure. The government made significant allegations of corruption under my administration. They've had 4.5 years, and they have not been able to produce 1 iota of evidence to suggest or show there was any level of corruption taking place. In fact, we have a situation right now where almost 36,000 passports have been sold under the CIP program. No accountability for it. Almost $3 billion. They have now sold our port for $1 and given away $400 million over the next 40 years to a company that was never had to put out to bid. Our NLA, the National Lottery, a loan was taken under them for $80 million. We don't know how the money was spent, but all we know is $1 million a month that should have been going into support youth programs, education, and sports is now going to paying off a loan for the $80 million. So the evidence of mismanagement and corruption is glaring for everyone to see in this country.
So the CIP continues to be a troubling issue in there in St. Lucia.
Well, the whole region. I mean, I don't know what's happened in Dominica, whether you've now signed off and gone to Parliament with the new regulatory agency that's been put in and the new Regulation Act. But when you look at the new act that the government here has now just passed, they have surrendered all sovereignty as it pertains to CIP. All the contracts have to be vetted. There has to be a registry of everybody who's being approved. And so all the controls and the sovereignty of the individuality of the programs has been taken away, and now there is one regulator. I mean, so I think that in order to save the program and to avoid the imposition of visa restrictions on our countries, the 5 OECS countries have had to agree to signing on to this regulator. And this is not a typical kind of regional piece of legislation. This legislation is binding and gives the regulator a lot of authority and control.
Actually, I just spoke to a correspondent there in the United States who said the U.S. is coming down hard on this CIP countries. In Dominica, we call it, of course, CBI program. They coming down hard on the leaders for tougher legislation to control it. So they're under some serious pressure.
They are. And so the fact is that they're not signing it because they wanted to sign it. They're signing it because they have no choice. And that's what I'm saying to you. This government has run out of time, and the lies and the propaganda are not going to work anymore. And before they have to completely reveal themselves, they've decided to call the election, and we're ready. And I'm very sure that the people of St. Lucia are ready for a change.
I see the Labour Party actually in St. Vincent having an election there, maybe a few days before the Labour Party. Do you think that trend will continue across the Caribbean in terms of the Labour Party calling elections? And if yes, why?
Well, I can't answer that question. I know that they work very closely together. We've seen they've been very aligned on foreign policy. And I know that they're very closely aligned politically. I don't know whether this is going to be now a continuing trend. I guess depending on the outcome of both the St. Vincent election, where the opposition is poised to win the election, and here in St. Lucia. I think a lot of persons may think that because the government won, because the government won with 13 seats previously, that it's going to be an uphill battle. But I can tell you, once you understand that 5 of the seats were within 900 votes in total, it tells you how close this election is.
You seem very confident of going forward.
Well, we have to be. The fact is that the evidence is there that this country has been mismanaged, that people are worse off today than they were 5 years ago. And most importantly, people in this country feel betrayed. You know, the Prime Minister
You said
looked
betrayed.
everybody in the eye.
You said betrayed.
Betrayed. Because the Prime Minister looked everybody in the eye when he introduced the health and security tax and asked people to make a sacrifice. And we only found out that the monies never were intended for health and security, but were to be used to support a loan that he was getting from CDB. The Prime Minister has lied about the GPH deal, the port deal. He's lied about the CIP programs. He said he was going to hold his ministers accountable. We have a minister that has a very bad track record in government and in his personal life, who's on his...
We may have lost Mr. Shastny there for a minute. Are you still there?
I am very confident,
Yes.
because I feel that people are fed up with this kind of governance, and this is an opportunity. This is a referendum on this government. And the fact is, do people want to see business as usual under this government? One of no transparency, no accountability. And the fact is, of the cost of living on the people rather than the government may.
Seems we're going in and out. Seem to be going in and out there. Are you still there, Mr. Shastny? Hello? I suspect me have lost Mr. Shastny for a minute. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We'll try to get back to you sometime in the near future, but I think you've said enough on the time. And so Mr. Shastny seemed confident about the election. One call by the Prime Minister, December 1. I just had to send a quick voice note to Mr. Shastny, just thanking him for, of course, joining us this morning. On short notice, I'll try to get the Prime Minister St. Lucia sometime. There are many questions coming in there from Mr. Shastny. Because it appears there are major Bajan strategists, multi-million-dollar campaigns, and important voters behind the door on the Labour Party to have them steal the election. I'm going to send that question to him, and If he feels necessary, he might give me a call back.
AutoTrade is introducing our very own mobile app. Yes, the AutoTrade app is here. From scheduling your service appointments, request financing, checking our vehicle and parts inventory, to receiving personalized coupons and sales specials. Life is so much easier with the new AutoTrade app. Download the AutoTrade app from the Play Store or App Store today. Call us at 255-6800. AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship.
Oh, we don't have too much more time there, but let's see if we can take a phone call or two, yes, before we wrap it up. Are you there, caller? No. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Hello, morning to you and to your listeners at home and abroad.
Morning to you, boss. So how you doing?
Good. I listened to Mr. Shastri there, and as you rightly said, the election is called for December 1st in St. Lucia and in St. Vincent, 27th of November.
Yeah. Is that a trend?
Yeah.
It's close.
Yeah. So in St. Lucia, they're going early. They're going out pretty early. In St. Vincent, too, they're going a little early because I suspect they realize what is coming to them as time goes by. The things are getting tougher. People are getting more demanding, and they are able to work to provide for people, in terms of infrastructure and jobs and so on. But I must commend Mr. Shastri for his leadership. I mean, let's look at St. Lucia history. So John Compton, the late, is well respected, well regarded, and well appreciated in St. Lucia. And he left, when he left government, during government, when he stepped down and made Alan Leasy Prime Minister, and so on. And not Alan Leasy, it's, he never came to mind, not Alan Leasy, he was at the OECS. Dr. Von Lewis. And then they went to election and they lost. Then when he went, the party stood out for a long time struggling, and then he had to come back to rescue the party. Then when he passed, Mr. King became Prime Minister, and they went into election and they lost. And Mr. Shastri is the only one who has won an election for the UWP, apart from Sir John Compton, who is deceased now. I think they have a good team. I think they have a good campaign. They're focused on the issues and what should be done and what can be done, how they govern and how they will govern, really. But it's going to be a tough fight, and I think they're prepared. I am following the campaign, both in St. Vincent and in St. Lucia, and they're prepared, I suspect, to take it through and so forth.
You mean the opposition is prepared to take it through? That's your point?
Yes, the opposition is prepared to take it through. I mean, both Ralph in St. Vincent and Philip JP in St. Lucia, they're fighting. And one would expect that they would fight and try to get back in the government. But they have to account for the stewardship, and I think both in St. Vincent and in St. Lucia, the opposition are getting them to account and showing the people where they have failed them and how things could have been better and so forth. So they are fighting in both countries and so on. I just want to wish them well. I think both St. Vincent and St. Lucia have some good team, very good team. I followed both campaigns, and there's life in the campaign, enthusiasm there. And I think the people of
So what's the difference here in Dominica? You think that the opposition is ready in St. Vincent, the Ritz opposition is ready in St. Lucia. Do you think the opposition is ready in Dominica? That's the question to you, Bosso, including.
Well, I tell you for Dominica, if you look at St. Vincent, you look at St. Lucia, you look at the rest of the region, people are involved in the democracy. They take part in the democracy. They ensure that they follow the government performance and get the government to account. In Dominica, our government feel they break your leg, they give you a stick to walk, and you must praise them until they do part. In these islands, that's not the case. You have to produce. You have to create opportunities for them. In Dominica, a lot of our people in the last, 20, 25 years have just become complacent and decide to let things fall apart. And therefore, it becomes very expensive. I mean, what the government have done here, if they cannot get you on their side, they destroy you and so forth. And then they make the economy so tough that the private sector itself is not doing well, so they can hardly even give you sponsorship. So when it comes to resources in a campaign here for the opposition, it's very tough. And the government has all this kickback that they fall back on, the passport and all of these things.
But the question to you, Bosso, do you think the opposition is ready? That's the question I asked you.
Well, the question you're asking, I'm just showing you why the opposition here is not ready.
Okay.
The difficulty that they have. I'm just showing the difficulty that they have, but not that to say they are abandoned the task and so forth. They are within and willing to take on the task. But it's a bit more difficult here based on how this government has operated over the years. They brought a lot of hatred, a lot of enmity in politics and disrespect and so forth. But in St. Lucia and St. Vincent, people are not spectators in the democracy, they are participants in the democracy. And therefore they energize and motivate leaders to work and work with leaders. I mean, you see what we do here in Dominica. I mean, we went to a community for a meeting. That's the Freedom Party. That's what they ask us, Sazo Mene, you know. Sazo Mene. They don't ask us, what are your plans, what you plan to do, Sazo Mene. So people have become very dependent rather than being independent. That's the situation we have in Dominica. Thank you, Matt.
We'll continue to monitor the elections in St. Lucia and St. Vincent. Give you a better feel as to what is going on there. Just heard Mr. Shastney speaking to us there in an exclusive interview, only in Q. So let's continue to monitor. Those of you who have missed it, I'll play it again at the 1 o'clock hour. Somebody asked me to play that song again. And wishes my command as we wrap it up there in the hot set.
Oh, my mama told me, 'cause she said she learned the hard way. Said she wanna spare the children. She said don't give us your soul away, 'cause all that you have is your soul.
All that you have is your soul, Dominica. See it one.
Don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat of the bitter fruit. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for a world of truth. 'Cause all that you have is your soul. I was a pretty young girl once. I had dreams, I had high hopes. Married a man who stole my heart away. Gave his love, but what a price to pay. All that you have is your soul. Don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat of the bitter fruit. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for a world of truth. 'Cause all that you have is your soul. Why was I such a young fool? Thought I'd make history, making babies was the best I could do. Thought I made something could be mine forever. Another hard way, one can't possess another. And all that you have is your soul. Don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat of the bitter fruit. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for a world of truth. All that you have is your soul. I thought I could find a way. Be the system, make a deal and have no just to pay. Take it all, and run away. Leave myself, first class and first rate. All that you have is your soul. Don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat of the bitter. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for the truth is all that you have is your soul. Here I am, I'm waiting for a better day. Second chance, a little luck to come my way. Hope to dream, hope that I can sleep again. Waking a world with clear conscience and clean hands. All that you have is your soul. Don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat of the bitter fruit. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for the truth. All that you have is your soul. Oh, my mama told me, 'cause she said she learned the hard way.
Easy Rock 95.1. More rock, less talk while you work. The latest soft rock hit after hit. Tune into Easy Rock 95.1, the best mid-morning show in the right here on Q95, the big station.
Messieurs, mesdames, it's time to celebrate Dominica's 47th Independence Celebration with ESA Trading Limited. Shop $47 and over and get a chance to win $3,000 worth of vouchers. First prize winners receive a $500 voucher. Second prize winners $300 voucher. Third prize winners $200 voucher. And the 20 vouchers will be available at $100 each. Messieurs, vidi, tout le monde to ESA Trading Limited. All senior citizens will receive a 15% discount every Wednesday from up to